I've never been in bed with you before.
I know.
I haven't been in bed with a girl in a while.
Roll one, scene two, take one.
This is episode 2 of Stuck in a Rut, and I'm with Danny Pellegrino.
Yes, it's been so long since I've been in bed with a girl.
And how does it feel? Are you comfortable, or is there anything I can get you?
I feel too comfortable. I'm questioning everything.
Okay, great. I love that. I absolutely love that. So, first of all, let's just talk a little bit about you. You've got a new podcast coming out. It's out already.
It's out, yeah.
So, tell us about it so everyone can go and listen.
Yeah, it's called Everything Iconic. It's on iTunes and Spotify. And it's really fun. It's like a reality TV breakdown show. I have celebrity guests, housewives.
But that's your favorite thing, housewives,
I love
isn't it?
housewives, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the housewives, and the show's a little bit. This show, my show, is about depression, stress, anxiety, stuck in a rut. How do you get out of it?
Well, I'm certain that every housewife, has had anxiety, depression, all of that before.
Okay, great.
I've interviewed a lot of them, and I feel it. They go through all that. It's all about social interactions and everything. So I think they're going through it every day of their lives, every day of filming. So what do how do housewives relate to depression? And I think all housewives deal with anxiety, depression, just like the rest of us. I've had a chance to interview a lot of them, and it's like you can tell they go through it just like the rest of us. And their whole job is social interaction. So it's like they're navigating their friendships and their families and everything. So it's that those shows are really about all of these mental things that we're all going through.
And I think it just makes us laugh about it, it feels real.
Yeah.
But now let's get into the meat and potatoes of my little videos, which I'm extremely excited about.
Yes.
Rut number 1. What is the first thing you would do to get out of rut? Okay. I think this relates to what you just told me.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of depression, I suffered from depression for about a month. Like, I had a really, really bad depression, and it was debilitating, where I was in bed, I was laying like this, I didn't look as good. I have some cover-up on, so I look a little bit better.
Okay.
But I was stuck in bed, and I didn't want to get out, and it was like I had to force myself to get out of bed. I mean, it was that bad. And I remember I would take little steps to try to get myself out of the depression. So I would force myself to take a shower, and I would just say, you could take it as long as you want. Like now, you're trying to conserve water and stuff. I get it. But when you're depressed, you can't worry about conserving water. So I would just say, get in the shower, sit there for as long as you need. And the water washing over me would make me feel better. And
just
it was
giving yourself that permission.
Yeah.
Permission to just be and get yourself to a place of what they say, cleanliness is godliness.
Yeah.
Is that what they say? Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what they say.
That's what we're saying now.
That's a new thing. Quote me.
That's what we're saying now. You have to give yourself permission. Like, whatever it is that you're feeling, if you're feeling nervous, you have to say, okay, I feel nervous. That's okay. If you're depressed, it's the same thing. You have to say, okay, I'm depressed right now. Let me just live in it for a second. And when you're living in it, then you can kind of take a step back and look, why am I depressed, or what am I doing wrong? What can I do to get better? But with me, I notice the way my mind works is I'm always thinking, if I'm depressed, I shouldn't be depressed. I'm not allowed to be depressed. Everything's going well. Why are you depressed? And it's like, that doesn't help me move forward because I'm just focused on, gosh, you're depressed. You shouldn't be. If I just say, oh, it's okay to be depressed, then I can focus on the steps of how to get out of it.
I think there's a real shame about it. People shame you when you're having a hard time. And so your automatic response is just to deny that it's happening to make everyone else around you feel comfortable. And I think for me, getting out of my rut it's really important for me to, as you say, accept that it's actually happening and not feel like bullied into pretending that it's not.
Yeah.
So number 2, what did you do next? Or would you advise your friend?
I would advise anyone who's suffering. I'm just all talking about all this depression.
No, it's
about
great.
my
That's
own depression.
What it's about.
This is great. So I think not comparing myself to other people's whatever they're going through, because I noticed when I had that very severe depression for a month, I was having symptoms and everything that maybe weren't typical symptoms. I'm gonna sound crazy.
What are the symptoms?
I'm going to sound crazy,
you
but
won't sound
you know what?
crazy,
I'm going to
but
sound
I'm
crazy.
not going to shame you for being crazy because this is where we're talking
this
about
is what it's about.
It's like accepting who you are, and you know how many people probably feel exactly the same as you that just don't say it because they don't feel brave enough to?
Yeah, well, here, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to sound crazy, so get ready.
I'm ready.
Get on board. But so I remember I was so dark, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, I need to get out of this. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't get out of bed. He's like, let's go to Disneyland for the day. So we got in the car. He took off work. We were driving to Disneyland, and I'm sitting in the car, and my anxiety was going crazy. I was, it was the first time I'd gotten out of bed in like a few days. It had been really bad. And here I'm going to Disneyland. I'm thinking, the happiest place on earth. How can you be depressed at Disneyland?
You can't be depressed
You
at
can't.
Disneyland.
Well, I
mean,
was.
maybe you can actually.
I was.
There's a lot of children there.
I know.
Could be depressed about that.
Yeah. There's food everywhere, too.
Oh, there
It's
is,
bad
but
for
is
food
it good
issues.
food?
It's good food, yeah.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah.
We're going to go there.
If you go to Pooh's Corner.
What's Pooh? Oh, Winnie the Pooh. As in like
know.
that Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah,
a
okay.
Pooh's Corner, and they have these peanut butter balls. But I digress.
Okay.
But so we were driving to Disneyland. I'm looking out the freeway. I'm looking off the side of the road, and I'm picturing dark clouds everywhere. Like, they say darkness
Yeah.
is when you're depressed, you see darkness. And I remember looking at the side of the road and seeing clouds everywhere, but it was a bright, shiny day. And I knew that it was a nice day out, but the depression, because it convinces you otherwise.
Oh, totally.
Like-
I think about opening the car door when people
Yeah.
are driving. I literally have been thinking about, not right now, but at times in my depression, and I'm quiet in the car, and I'm thinking, I wonder what would happen if I just opened the car door.
Yeah, just
Or
leave.
on the plane. Sometimes I've been sitting there on a plane and I've been really depressed. And I'm sitting at the exit. I think, wonder what would happen if I just opened
Jump out.
the exit door in the middle of the thing. I'm not going to do that because now people think I'm a hazard. But at times I have been
That's
thinking
the
that.
anxiety and depression convincing you of
Totally.
things that aren't real. And for me, I was also noticing trucks that were driving by. I was picturing them falling off the side of the road, which is so f***ing dark. Can I swear
It's
on
so you
this?
can swear. Of course you can swear.
It was so f***ing dark, and I remember just thinking, like, this is bad. Like, the anxiety was eating me alive so much, and I was imagining things that were happening around me that weren't actually happening. And that was like a turning point for me where I was like, okay, I
So
need
what
to
did
get
you
help.
do? How did you? So you knew it was happening, and then you were like, what did you actually do to check out of it? For me, I get anxiety. The first thing it is, okay, Genevieve, you're having anxiety. Name 5 things that are right in front of you that are real and actually happening. I'll go, okay, and this, Danny's right next to me. There's a lamp. I'm in bed. There's someone filming me. This is a little weird, but it's okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm present. Here's where I am. Things are not actually falling apart.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, getting present. I had a meditation app on my phone at the time, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, can you pull over? He pulled over, and I did a 5-minute guided meditation. It's called the Headspace app, I
Oh,
believe.
I love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, I was like, pull over, I have to do it, and it just made me present.
Yeah.
You know, it does all those steps that you just said. It's like, it forces you to take a moment, breathe, catch your breath. Because when you're having those anxiety panic attacks, you can't even catch your breath.
And I think people have a sort of thing against meditation. They don't really know what it is. So instead of investigating and looking into it and saying, is this for me? Can it actually help me? And it's a tool you can really use anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to 3. What's your third thing?
I guess maybe seeing a therapist. I think
Okay,
like
good.
seeing
Seeing a
someone,
therapist?
seeing a professional, and I know a lot of people. We're in LA, so in LA, everyone's kind of like
Everyone
in
has a
therapy, right?
therapist.
Yeah, like everyone has a therapist.
Yeah, or
It's-
2 even.
It's more common than a trainer out here.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm from Ohio, and in the Midwest, it's just not as accepted. So it's like we're used to it. But I think if you're someone who's from the Midwest or someone from the East Coast or somewhere where it's not a small town, you have to realize that it's okay to see someone. It's good to see someone. You should have someone to talk to, even when you're completely healthy up here. It's like go chat with someone because it feels good to chat, like we're doing right now. It's like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel better.
I'm your therapist now. You
I
should
feel
have
good
therapy
right
in the
now.
bed. You
Take
know
a
what?
nap.
When I was going through my depression, I'm from another country. I didn't actually understand how the American medical system works and insurance and stuff. And I had to get friends to help me figure that out. I didn't even know where to find a therapist. I didn't know who to call when I was thinking. And to be honest with you, I didn't have the ability to. I was so depressed that I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Can I ask you, what is the stigma? Is there a stigma for mental health where you're from? South Africa,
Yes,
right?
especially with addiction.
Yeah.
And things like that. I'm sober.
Yeah.
So when I've gone back and I've spoken to my friends about it, there's very much a kind of like resistance to what it is. You know, they don't want to be held up, have a mirror held up to them for their actions, or they'll feel like that whatever they're doing is like I'm judging them. So I think, you know, any addictions, food issues, depression, anxiety, people just want to pretend that it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's easier that way, and it makes everyone more comfortable.
But it builds up so much.
Everyone's
and then
a
you let
lunatic.
it all comes out in the worst ways. Like I noticed when I was going through that really rough time, it was coming out in all those, like I said, I was seeing things, but then it also comes out in weird physical symptoms where you're getting sick more often, like cold or flu or that kind of thing, or just in any sort of physical symptoms. I feel like when you bottle all those emotions and feelings up, it's going to come out. It's just a matter of how it comes out.
And to whom it should come out. So, number 4, what is the 4th thing that you would tell yourself or your best friend or me if you legitimately came over here and saw me in my bed and I'm like, Danny, help me, I cannot get out of the bed. Tell me what to do.
Find something that you're going to have fun doing. So it's like if it's a friend, I would say whatever we like to do together, whether that's going out dancing, whether that's going to a concert, going to a movie, whatever it is that we do together that I know in the past has been really fun. Maybe we saw a concert together. Maybe we work out. We used to work out together. We work out together.
Yeah.
So it's like I know that working out together would be fun. So it's like plan that, do it, and don't think about any more than that one little event.
Just that space where you're at. Just everything else doesn't matter. It's just right there, present with your friend, enjoying your thing.
And like I said, give yourself permission. So it's like give yourself permission to just do that one event. Don't think I have to do this one event and get better and be better.
Yes.
Like I have to mentally be better after I go to this, fucking Blink 182 concert. Are they still around?
I'm not sure, but if they were, maybe I would go. I think I would go.
Such a dated reference. I'm sorry, but whatever the concert is, I swear I'm not that old.
You're not that old.
How old's a Blink 182 fan?
I'm not sure, but music in South Africa is a little bit behind.
I'm
like serious Bryan Adams fan. I mean, I even bought like the most expensive tickets I could find. I was so excited.
What's been your best concert?
That one, because he's my best guy. Like I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I'm actually because I was depressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm doing this. I'm gonna buy these tickets. I don't care how much it costs me, and I'm gonna go and see Bryan. And then the best part was I got to meet him. What a treat!
Yes.
So amazing.
A similar thing happened. I bought myself Mariah Carey tickets, much gayer, but I got Mariah Carey tickets and I bought like really expensive ones. It was when she was in Vegas. And so we were right up front and she came up behind, she like came and sang with me for a second.
Amazing.
It was like the best night. But doing an event that you're going to have fun with, is important.
And
like I said, so don't worry about that curing you. Like that one event's 100%. Not going to cure you. It's going to maybe help you feel better for a day or a night or whatever.
What I really want to, you told me this before we came up, and I think it's important. You said with your social media that you started your social media because you were depressed. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that's, I think, an amazing thing. Because I feel as though social media makes people depressed, but in this case, it was your way out of it. And I love that.
Yeah, it's so weird. So I was doing sketch and stand-up comedy all around town, and I was just not, I was working with a theater company that had basically let me go. So I had put all my time into this theater company. And when they let me go, that was sort of part of what triggered my depression. I mean, there were other things going on. But I couldn't perform anymore. I was so unable to, like I said, get out of bed. So I remember thinking, I still want to put myself out there. I like comedy. I like being funny and making people laugh. And so I just thought maybe I could make a meme or, I made a meme. It was like a Real Housewives of New York meme.
Okay, I love that.
I love the Housewives so much. Oh my God. But I made a Housewives meme and I remember it like people were like, oh, that's funny. And so I committed. I said, I'm going to make a meme every day. And it was, a lot of them were terrible. Like some of them were really bad, but I committed to it. And it slowly made me feel more confident in my work because at the time I was at my lowest in terms of my work. I was like, I'm not funny. I can't do this. And then it was like, you start to get validation, which you shouldn't rely on validation from social media. You shouldn't rely on likes to fulfill you.
It does help a little bit.
But it helps a little bit. And it did help a little bit. It was like, I'm getting some validation like that I am funny because I didn't think I was.
Yeah, and you're kind of going through this crisis of like, wait a second, I have my whole life in this particular area and now I'm not doing that. What now? What do I do now?
Yeah. And I found a niche. I found that people not only liked what I had to offer, but I found a very specific niche. So a lot of my memes and my podcast, it's all based sort of around character actress, female celebrity. So it's like Real Housewives, character actresses, stuff like that. And I notice it's such a small niche, but there's so many other people that have the same interests.
Totally.
Yeah, but so it helped me get out of my depression, my anxiety, because I started to feel like I did have something to offer. And the career path I thought I was going to take wasn't the exact career path that I'm taking now. But so many opportunities have come from social media that, I would have never had if I would have stayed in doing stand-up or sketch comedy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 10 years ago when I started modeling, I never thought, I'd like to have an Instagram following because it didn't exist. It wasn't even on my radar. And now this new sort of thing, it's a new career. I guess it is a career path. Unless, of course, Facebook and Instagram decide to just shut down. Then we won't have jobs.
That's why I think it's important to branch out into other medias. So, like,
Definitely.
I started on Instagram, and now I'm, then I moved into my podcast, and it's like I'm
And your
branching
Facebook
out.
page.
And
Your
my
new
Facebook page,
Follow Danny on his Facebook page, Danny Pellegrino.
Facebook.com/Pellegrino Danny.
Pellegrino Danny.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like backwards, which is so annoying.
Okay, but now the fifth thing. Although the Instagram thing was a thing, but that was your personal thing. I
Yeah.
want something else. The fifth thing that you would tell me.
Oh, God. I don't know. I had it written down. I had it on my phone. I had something good.
You did?
Yeah, it was something good. Just relax.
Just chillax.
That wasn't on there, but I think like that's a good one. Just relax. Like, don't always think about the future. Think about what's going on now. You said that earlier, be in the present. It's like just wherever you're at, be okay. If you are okay, be okay with not being okay. Just relax.
And follow Danny because then
Follow
you
me.
would be laughing at his Real
Find ways-
Housewife memes.
Find ways to laugh and like smile with a friend and connect with another person and just enjoy the little stupid things in life, like an Instagram that makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Or,
So it's connection. It's really
connection.
about like not isolating because that's what I do. I just isolate. And now I don't isolate because I got you in my bed with me.
No. I said this is so wasted on a gay guy because how many straight guys would love to be in bed with you?
Yeah, I don't want them in bed with me though.
I do. They can call me up.
You're right. Okay, no, I actually do. So this is Stuck in a Rut, it's episode 2 with Danny Pellegrino. And now we're not stuck in a rut anymore.
Hopefully not. No, fingers crossed.